Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another segment of Read With Me. I am your host, Kelly Michelle. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this link. This channel focuses on reading together separately. So I choose a book, one book, and we will read that book throughout the month. I will share with you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays my thoughts, my takeaways, my reflections from the assigned chapters that we read. And the goal is for us to read 12 books together by the end of the year. So we have read through January through March, and now we are working through our April book. And our April book is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. So last time I reviewed chapter 17, and this time I will be reviewing chapter 18. And like I said, as a disclaimer, this is me just sharing my thoughts, my reflections, and my personal takeaways from the assigned chapters that we read. And in no way am I trying to present these ideas as my own concepts, as my own ideas. It is just me sharing with you. And it is to encourage you to read. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is to encourage you all to read, and we're reading together. So, chapter 18, it is titled When You'll Believe Anything. And here are my takeaways. Number 1, the more you want something to be true, the more likely you believe a story that overestimates the odds of it being true. Number 2, everyone has an incomplete view of the world, but we form a complete narrative to fill in the gaps. And number 3, risk. It's what's left over when you think you've thought of everything. And there's a couple of these points that really spoke to me and that I want to emphasize. Number 1, the more you want something to be true, the more likely you believe a story that overestimates the odds of it being true. And the example that I want to use is how algorithms work, really. Is, for example, in any type of social media or any type of platform, for example, like YouTube or TikTok, Instagram, etc., etc., etc. But the example I'm going to use is YouTube for the algorithm. If I begin to look at a particular story, say that I was interested in a particular recipe and I would watch a chef cooking a recipe, the algorithm will continue, because I've looked at a few videos about cooking and certain recipes, will continue to feed me more and more and more videos that relate to my initial search, which was a recipe or a cooking segment. And that is the same to be true about stories that we tell ourselves. If we believe that the world is a very violent place and that we aren't safe, and we begin to find evidence that supports that. And that's what the author was talking about, is that we will find things that confirm something that we already believe is true, or something that we can be persuaded as being true because we have found so much evidence to support it. And the second one that I really wanted to emphasize was number 2, which was everyone has an incomplete view of the world, but we form a complete narrative to fill in the gaps. And it's very true. We see the world through our own narrative, our own perspective, our own experiences, our own reflections. That's how our own past, that's how we view the world. And when there's unanswered questions, where there are things that we can't explain, we create our own narratives to explain those things. And that is very true. Like, I think about little kids and their curiosity, and they're constantly asking questions. Well, mommy, daddy, how does X, Y, and Z work? And how do we do this? And how do we do that? You know, their curiosity is at an extreme level when they're really small. And so we try to explain the world based upon what we know. But then if we don't know something, we either explore to learn it, or we just try to fill in those gaps. And so that's what number 2 was talking about. So those are my reflections on chapter 18. Next time, we will be going over chapter 19. And then we're almost finished with the book, because the book has 20 chapters. So as I want to encourage you, as I've done before, is that if you have missed a segment, please go back and read chapters that you missed, or go back to segments that you have missed and catch up. And if there's any books that you have missed, you can always go back to those segments as well and review the books that we have read January through March. I always leave you with a couple of things. Take some time to read today. Read a great story, sharpen your mind, learn something new. If you are enjoying this channel, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we want this channel to grow, so please tell a friend, invite a friend to join our virtual book club. And finally, comment. What did you take away from chapter 18? Were those some of the same highlights that I had? I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And until next time, happy reading.